All right, let's talk very briefly about body protection compound 157, that's BPC 157, and TB 500, which is a mimicking of tyrosine beta 4, which is also a naturally occurring peptide within the body. So the reason why people take these peptides are for the reconstruction or repairing or recovery of damaged soft tissue. I personally don't think there's a lot of benefit within the medications for bones. Bones are mostly made of calcium and other minerals, not connective tissue and proteins, whereas things like ligaments, tendons, muscles, etc. are that. So let's start off with where these compounds even come from. So peptides are proteins, okay? Just like protein within a muscle, these are proteins found within essentially the gut, um, within stomach acid or within the intestines, and they have some healing capacities among other things within them. Um, Again, they are just a model of what the body already has within it. Okay, it's just an artificial version. Now, as far as testing and medicinal uses, there's not a lot of information, or not, I wouldn't say not a lot of information. There's plenty of information, but not a lot of studies done to pass it through the medical testing it needs to be an actual approved, FDA approved medication. There are some like personal opinions people have as to why, because I think it is a very efficacious. And so anything that kind of goes against normal prescribed medication or surgery is going to kind of have a hard time getting approved. But aside from that, this is one of those compounds or peptides where there's a ton of anecdotal or user evidence of it working. Um, Obviously, we don't have 10 to 20 years of evidence, but these compounds have been around for quite a bit. I'm going to keep this very, very simple. Okay. The goal is not to bore you all with the scientific evidence behind these things, just kind of give you the facts in a nutshell. My personal opinion and my experience with them is they are effective. I've only seen the effect when used together, both BPC and TB together. To me, TB 500 helped a lot with the inflammation as well as bringing the swelling and the pain reception down. BPC 157 I'd ran by itself. I didn't have any real feedback, either positive or negative. But when I stacked both together, I did feel that the restriction of movement, the recovery between workouts, and that sort of thing all improved. And so one thing that I noticed, yes, I had imaging done multiple times, and there was a slight improvement in the imaging. But what the medical professionals and through my own research found is that the best way to um, evaluate the progress of healing is pain, restriction of movement, and lastly, imaging. So even though the imaging might not be progressing fast, if you have no pain, less restriction, those are good signs. And that's what I experienced through using these things in conjunction with growth hormone as well. But growth hormone acts a lot slower, and I've also done those compounds without it. So these compounds are done subcutaneously, so a small little insulin syringe where the compound is suspended in bacteriostatic water, essentially sterile water that keeps it clean, and done under the skin. It's not an intramuscular thing. The medication or the peptide proliferates through the whole body, so even if you were to do it right into the site where the pain is, it's going to distribute throughout the bloodstream. Okay. There is some anecdotal evidence to actually, like, let's say you have a torn tendon, injecting directly into the tendon, which would probably freaking hurt, might help a little bit with it being targeted, but I don't think that there's any benefit through going that route. And there's a lot of risk when you start penetrating tendons with needles. So um, the duration, I usually say that no less than 4 to 6 weeks, but you also don't want to run it indefinitely. It's better to kind of evaluate how much repair you've done, take some time off. It is going to help with other aspects of recovery and muscle recovery as well, also deeper sleep. But it is not something that you want to continue to do forever because, again, there's not enough evidence to show what the long-term effects are. It is still a research chemical at the end of the day, no matter how many people have used it. Um, so the purpose is also to help and aid with what you're already doing. So if you're not stretching, you're not doing any self-myofascial relief, massage therapy, chiropractics, physical therapy, whatever holistic and non-medicinal ways to rehab the injury. If you're not doing that stuff, it's not going to help as much, but you will notice some alleviation of the symptoms. So at the end of the day, this little quick clip was designed to give you a little bit of background on what they are, how safe they are, how they're used. Generally, they are safe, but again, they are research chemicals. They are things that still need to have further testing done and studies done in order for them to be a prescribed medication. But the good thing is that there are a lot of clinics that can prescribe it on a case-by-case basis. So it is not something that you will essentially get from a general practitioner. You'll get it from like a hormone clinic or some sort of wellness clinic. So there is, again, there's pharmaceutical grade and there is underground. I tend to think you want to go with pharmaceutical as much as you can, but it will be more expensive. But I haven't also seen any negatives from having a reputable underground lab.